Hello, this is Esther Lamiam, founder of Imitate Nature Academy, where we teach you how to use the simple laws of nature, simple tools you can find around in nature and in your life to create your desires and the lifestyle that you want. Before I go forward, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm also the author of 3 books. This is a book of poetry, and this is a self-help book, Love Under the Kola Nut Tree, What City Moms Didn't Tell You About Creating Fulfilling Relationships, and my most recent book, Strive to Be Happy, Powerful Tools on How To. How did I come about the laws of nature that can help you? Well, many years ago in the 90s, I was having a health issue. I was having skin issues where I went to the doctor and he would give me medication. After 6, 7, 8 months, the problem will come back. So eventually I decided not to keep taking the medication, but to find out why I was having the problem. That started my conscious journey on healing. So I went and studied healing, studied myself, studied how to heal myself with food and nutrition and breathing exercises and other modalities. Along the way, I learned a lot. I became an iridologist. An iridologist is somebody who, when they look in your eye, the iris of your eye, like the blue or the brown, they can see your whole health, your respiratory system, digestive tract. It's like reflexology. So I learned that, and I could help people. I started helping my family. I was helping my coworkers. I was helping anybody that needed some help. But I found out along the way that people will come back later. Months later, or a year later, or 2 years later, after they had taken care of the problem, they will come back with the same issue. They had forgotten how to re-help themselves, because most times when people get well, they forget what they did to stay well or to get well. So the same issue I had with the doctor, where I kept having a recurring issue and I had to take medication, it was happening to them. So I decided to go to the root cause of the problem with these people who were coming back to me. And the root cause of the problem was very interesting, because some people were having health issues because of relationship issues, because of their environment that they worked in, because of the way they talk, the way they process data, or traffic other people's relationships. So eventually I ended up coaching, and that's how come I wrote Love Under the Kola Nut Tree, What City Moms Didn't Tell You About Creating Fulfilling Relationships. It's really a self-help book told as story, drama, infidelity, spirituality, mysticism, which is what we really are as human beings today. We are spiritual beings in a physical body. And if you want to heal somebody or help somebody, you have to integrate both the spiritual and the physical side, so that you can get complete healing for good, so that it doesn't reoccur. So in me helping people, I realized that there were certain things that we were missing. People could create things that they wanted, and then halfway down the road it will break, or they'll be in a relationship and then it will break, it will stop, they will fall apart, or they will have a repeating cycle. So I also pulled back and I said, what is wrong here? Why are they missing? Why are we not creating the lifestyle and the relationships that we want? And I realized that there are certain intangible tools that cannot be quantified. It's not something you can go out there and say, hey, take this piece of drug, or take this herb or anything and eat, and your relationships will be well, or this will work. So I realized that there were intangible tools that form the foundation. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to have a relationship, you're trying to have a career, these tools work across the board. And that is what I started teaching people. And once they got that, it was easy for them to recreate. Even if they forgot the tools, if they had visitors, or they had to travel, or they had to buy a house or a baby, or went out of the country and came back, they could remember these tools, because these are foundational tools. So in this program, Cracking the Code on creating your desires or anything you want in life, I'm going to just give you very simple tools. They are so simple that sometimes you might just take them for granted. But again, the complexity of God is in His simplicity. Nature is so simple that when you use those tools, everything falls into place. So that is what this program is all about. For example, I ask people sometimes in workshops, have you heard about The Secret? Or have you tried the law of attraction? Have you? And if you've tried it, has it worked for you consistently? And if it hasn't, why? We have workshops, we have books, we have tools out there, but our relationships are still break. And it's because Some of these laws and these tools that we are using don't teach you these foundational tools I'm going to be teaching you in this program. So to start off, I'm going to give you a very simple homework to do right now to get us started. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you to be like the goat. I'm going to train you like we do in the village. You know, the goat goes out and eats, and then when it comes back, it chews on it. So some of the tools I'm going to teach you will be so simple. Just be receptive. Open your mind, listen to them, and then chew on them later. Think about it later, try them later. If they work for you, replicate it in all your other affairs. Teach your children, teach your coworkers, and then so that everybody can, you know, be successful. One of the things to set the stage for you is to tell me the ingredients that if you wanted to cook soup, what would you need? This is just so we can set the stage on the type of tools I'm going to be teaching you and why those tools are very necessary. So just take a moment. You can pause this video right now and then come right back and just list some of the tools that you want to cook soup with. Okay? Have you listed those tools? When I do this in workshops, most of the time people might tell me, let me say you wanted to cook vegetable soup. You know, what people might tell me, they'll list some vegetables, they'll list some salt, they'll list maybe pepper, onions, you know, stock, water, and whatever they want to list. But invariably, you cannot cook soup. You know, if I send you to a new country, a new state, nobody can really make soup out of the ingredients that they list. Some of the intangible tools that you need to be aware of before you create soup is fire. Many people do not list fire. You need a fire, you need a pot. You need a stove. You need a car to go to the store. You need a store. These are taken for granted and by default. And that is why sometimes in relationships and when we use certain tools or things that we are trying to create, we fail. Because the intangible tools are taken for granted. They are like the default tools. They are already in your house if you were trying to create soup. But if you're trying to create a lifestyle, a different lifestyle or relationships, you have to go back to the table and revisit these tools. And once you have these tools, you realize that it doesn't matter what kind of soup you're trying to cook. Those tools, these always stay constant. So this will form like your foundation. So whatever you're doing, you need certain tools. And the tools I'm going to be teaching you in this program are such foundational tools. The foundation that if you're trying to form a business, you need that tool. If the same tool that you're trying to form a relationship, you will need. If you're trying to build a house, you need the same tools. If you're trying to go to college, you need those same tools. So once you work on those tools, then now you can extrapolate it into other areas of your life. So get ready, and we're going to start with the first tool. Thank you very much.